And we're going to Phil DeFranco. Shout out to Phil DeFranco. Let's get it. I do say one thing before I get into this. Yes, Dr. Disrespect opened up his mouth and said the truth. Now, is it the fact that, are we mad at the fact that he said it? Or are we mad at the fact that bro could be a schmedophile? Or are we mad at the fact that mans came out and opened his mouth and should have never said jack squat? Personally, he told the truth. He opened his mouth, he said what he had to say, and what he said we didn't like. If he would have never said it teetered on inappropriate, nigga, that's where you lost me. And you never met up with the person or had intentions to meet up with the person, you were just being cordial, that's different. But you should have never been talking to this underage girl. And the fact that she was going to go to TwitchCon, you should have never been talking to her in the first place. Because that means the age of that person was 14, 15, 13. They needed a legal guardian, so you're going to meet up with them with a legal... Come on, bro. Looking kind of suspicious there. Personally, on what I see. Let's get it. But, does that make him a pedophile? No, because he said nothing was sent back and forth, no explicit messages, nothing was sent. He didn't sexually assault anyone, but it's also bad that he was texting and it teetered on inappropriate. That's bad. That is bad. So at the same time, call it how you want to see it personally, but I'm not sure. Because then, as I keep going back and forth in my mind, I'm like, so he's a pedophile? So he's not a pedophile. But he has to engage more and done more to be a EDP 445. Shit. Like, if he ain't an EDP 445, I don't know what we're talking about. Let's continue.
There's been some wild allegations getting thrown out left and right over the weekend, with those and the back and forth and all the fallout being one of the most requested stories to talk about today. And at the center of all this, you have Mr. Beast, Ava Tyson, Dr. Disrespect, Nick Merckx, a bunch of names that you may or may not be familiar with. As far as Mr. Beast, obviously biggest creator in the world, and Ava Tyson's been a part of the Mr. Beast crew from the beginning, with Mr. Beast having to, once again, like he's done in the past throughout her transition, defend Ava online. With this most recent example of that stemming from a video posted by Nick Merckx. And he's a very big gaming streamer, though I would say definitely over this past year, with more and more of his anti-trans talk, he's gotten a lot more attention. And he tweeted to Ava, "You should be ashamed of yourself, leaving behind your wife and child to play pretend. One day you'll wake up and realize what you've done." Or which was his reaction to a tweet from Ava earlier, saying, "Me every time I post on Twitter."
I'm not gonna lie though, like that is a hurtful shit to say. It's like, yo, you're not a parent no more. You a bitch.
He, they, she, hey, they.
And so Nick's tweet, it garnered a lot of reactions, including from Ava herself, who replied, the quote, "Protect the kids crowd when someone is a loving parent versus when their boy is currently facing SA accusations." Right, and that seemingly referencing the fact that Nick Merckx has been defending Dr. Disrespect against recent allegations that he was inappropriately messaging a minor. Right, because it was a claim from a former Twitch employee over the weekend that Doc was permanently banned from Twitch because that happened. With Dr. Disrespect responding to that multiple times over the weekend, saying, "I get it, it's a hot topic, but this has been settled, no wrongdoing was acknowledged, and they paid out the whole contract." And later tweeting, "Listen, I'm obviously tied to legal obligations from the settlement with Twitch, but I just need to say what I can say since this is the fucking internet. I didn't do anything wrong. All this has been probed and settled. Nothing illegal. No wrongdoing was found, and I was paid. Elden Ring Monday."
I feel like he said all this. What sucks is the fact that you said all this, but still nothing was wrong, but niggas still decided to cut you. Why? Because if nothing was wrong, nothing was said, people didn't have a right to cut you then. Think about that. In the grand scheme of it, think about that, right? Now let's, like, we're playing like what, 4 or 5 fucking D chess. I'm not gonna go back and forth on the bullshit, but the fact that you opened your mouth and you said something, and the fact that you came out and said nothing happened, nothing was wrong, copy. But you knew about this a long time ago and knew why you got canned, because Twitch knew and they didn't say nothing until now. And this was 4 years ago. He was talking to this said person in 2017. So that person's a teenager now. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into it.
And today, during that live stream, he said, for those that are looking me to expand on what I said this weekend, that's not happening. Saying that he said what he already needed to say. And adding, I don't give a fuck about this guy. That's it. But that said, going back to the Ava and Nick Merck stuff, one of the biggest responses there was from Mr. Beast himself, saying Ava is literally always with her kid and doesn't even go on shoots to spend more time with them. Tuckman is always smiling. Not sure why this rumor is a thing. And as you can imagine, when the biggest creator on the platform chimes in,
it's not a rumor. It's the fact that people don't like the fact that Chris Tyson transitioned and it involves a Mr. Beast brand. A lot of y'all are going to say this and a lot of people aren't going to say this. I'm going to say this. Mr. Beast, Jimmy, is a brand. All of his crew, the people with him, people working with him are part of his brand and his crew. When somebody transitions, the first thing these motherfuckers were saying was, yo, Mr. Beast needs to get rid of Chris Tyson because he's pushing this stuff to kids because Mr. Beast's audience is mainly kids. Mr. Beast's audience is mainly this. Mr. Beast's audience is mainly this. That's what people were saying from the get. So now, if I'm Chris Tyson and I'm over here just living my life, I'm like, nigga, that's not true. I transitioned. I felt a different way is what it is. People are like, oh, Chris destroyed his marriage, his relationship. Oh, he's a bad person. Brain glitching. But to Chris, he was like, my wife understood. I talked with her. I felt different at some point. I made a switch and a change. I still take care of my son. I still love my son. I'm not fucking blind and stupid to that. But at the same time, people are like, oh, Chris Tyson's a fucking woman. Oh, he's trying to brainwash and control people. Oh, shut up for like 2 seconds and get out of your dome for a minute. Mr. Beast is a brand. Chris is his friend. He's going to do what he does because of his brand and his friend. Chris isn't stopping Jimmy's philanthropy, Jimmy's side hustles, his gigs. Chris isn't doing shit but living Chris's life. But that's the problem. Chris is also going to be on shoots, be here and there. But how is Jimmy going to pay Chris if Chris ain't there? How is Chris going to pay for his lifestyle and all this other shit? If you know what I'm saying? There's a certain level of approach towards this. People don't like the fact that Chris Tyson transitioned because of the family dynamics, all this other stuff. And people don't like the fact that Jimmy supports this nigga and what he does. But that's been his boy since that was his boy. Like, come on, bro. Like, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like I said before, like, you're going to have to support your mans if you don't.
The fact that he's friends with, supports, and features a trans woman in his content. But this is there were also a ton of others loving what Mr. Beast said here. Saying things like his constant defense of Ava is very nice to see. Saying this matters especially for the next generation. Arguing with Jimmy's influence and reach to young boys, this stuff is going to be his most important legacy. And others chiming in saying, I don't
really think Twitter is going to be his most important legacy because people have to go back and they have to really probe and they have to really do all this stuff. I'm not going to remember this. And you're not going to remember this next year. Nobody's going to remember this at all. They're going to keep note of it because it means something to them personal. But to Jimmy, it's like, I'm just talking and trying to be like, yo, that's my boy. Like, back off. That's it.
will say, oh, this is just the bare minimum. But I feel like in today's climate, having one of the most famous people on the planet stand up for his friend and supporting her identity and existence is extremely important and impactful. And actually, the proof of this climate and of the fact that Mr. Beast really is doing something that can make a difference or challenge people's belief is the amount of transphobia in his replies, or just the sheer number of people saying vile things about him and Ava everywhere online. And with that, Ava even writing, they just want to villainize trans people. They realize and accept that I'm in my child's life arguably more than most parents are able to be. They say I'll ruin him or far worse things. They don't actually care. They want to move the goalpost so they can go see trans people bad. And this whole situation got so big and it's
in a truthful manner, yeah, because I said this before. Mind your fucking business. Stay out of other people's business, and you don't know what goes on behind closed doors, personally, right? The whole Vic Mignogna situation. A lot of people were saying different amounts of things, different stuff that was happening. But like I said before, yeah, we don't know what happened behind closed doors. But if we take each person at face value, we can kind of come up with an idea for ourselves. If Chris is still showing around his kid, doing what he got to do, shout out to Chris. If Chris is not, hey, whatever. But we don't know that, and we ain't speaking up for that. So let's be real.
spread so wide that Ava's ex even had to chime in. Right, Katie, Ava's ex and co-parent, releasing a statement saying, "There are plenty of other things in this world to talk about other than a 4-year-old who will one day see all of this. Our lives are the best they've ever been, and Tucker is loved and cared for by both parents and in both homes and is thriving." I don't know who Nick is, and I don't care who he is, but as a parent himself, is this the example we want to set for our children? When we don't agree with someone, we bash them, their families, drag others' children through the
She got a point. She got a point. She's laying out a whole point right now.
trenches by spreading false information about their lives. Be better. Set better examples. But ultimately,
Come on. She literally, if the nigga's ex gotta open her fucking mouth and be like, yo, leave my kid alone, stop talking about my family, shut your face, and realize if you don't like the opinions and stuff going back and forth, stop talking about it. Leave us the fuck alone. You don't like contradictory viewpoints and you don't like opinions. Why are we arguing about this then if you don't fuck with it? Stop arguing with me and move the fuck on. It's simple, but too simple for others, too brain dead for others. Continue.
as of filming, that is where we are with this. And of course, like with all our stories, because this is a news show, but I also want it to be a conversation, I'd love to hear from you in those comments down below. Where do you stand on this and why? Also, I should say hi, welcome.
Shout outs to this man. Is there any more of the Dr. Disrespect stuff?
Dr. Disrespect situation just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and it's now busted into the mainstream. Because what started as a small but meaningful part of another story yesterday blew up right as we were uploading. Because in case you missed it, Dr. Disrespect, aka Guy Beam, he was in the news because 2 former Twitch employees came forward and said that his mysterious 2020 ban from Twitch, that was over him allegedly inappropriately messaging a minor. Now for his part, Dr. Disrespect was saying, he could only say so much, but
the dude's name is Guy Bean? No, why your parents name you that, bro? Why they do that to you, bro?
in a handful of tweets, he wrote, "This has been settled, no wrongdoing was acknowledged, and they paid out the whole contract. I didn't do anything wrong." With him then doing a live stream on Monday saying, he's not going to talk about any of this, though that stream ended with him saying that he was going to take a break. With many then left wondering, what is going to happen next? And literally, as we were uploading yesterday's show, Midnight Society, the gaming studio he co-founded, they cut ties with him and released a statement saying, "On Friday evening, we became aware of an
We already know about this, but I do want to add more of these videos to the conversation and conversation pool because it's a live stream and I like to kind of go off the top
allegation against one of our co-founders, Guy Beam, aka Dr. Disrespect. We assumed his innocence and began speaking with parties involved. And in order to maintain our principles and standards as a studio and individuals, we needed to act. For this reason, we are terminating our relationship with Guy Beam. While these facts are difficult to hear and even more difficult to accept, it is our duty to act with dignity on behalf of all individuals involved, especially the 55 developers and families we have employed, along with our community of players." Right? Notably, that Friday evening, the date that the Midnight Society gave, that was the same day that one of the former Twitch staffers came forward. Now, of course, with all that, as you might expect, there were a lot of different reactions. Tons of people just demanding that they share the proof or the evidence that led them to this decision. But at the same time, you had others kind of confused as to why there was backlash to Midnight Society's decision, with a number of people arguing that it's pretty cut and dry. Or with gamers in the space like,
yeah, I kind of said the same thing. Like it is cut and dry because we don't want to associate with this nigga. I'm sorry. It just is what it is.
Nadia Amin writing in a since deleted tweet, "I don't understand how this is even controversial. His own company said we assumed his innocence, spoke with parties involved. These facts are difficult to hear." And then writing, "Why are so many..."
But then when you talk about facts, a lot of people are like, well, where's the evidence? Where's the proof? You can't just go off of that. I hear you, but damn.
People defending a pedo. Meanwhile, you had other big names in the space speaking out, the likes of Ninja, for example.
Did their own investigative research behind the scenes, right? And found enough, right? Found enough.
Is that a window? Is it morning time? Oh, that's a mad light right there. You see that behind him? Is that an LED or is that morning?
Evidence to let him go from the company, right? Not administrative leave, not we'll address this later. Like they found something is what I'm trying to say. Okay.
Right. Meanwhile, you had others saying Midnight Society doesn't need to share its evidence publicly, saying it's clear based on this decision they found something serious. Others also speculating that part of the reason evidence hasn't been shown is to protect alleged victims, right? Because if what is being alleged here is true, it involves a minor, right? And this is
true. It involves a girl and it involves at 2017, but that's 2017 up until now. 7 years has passed. I'm not holding this nigga. Am I holding this nigga to something that happened 7 years ago? That's my own problem. Because personally, to me, this is old news just surfacing to the internet, and we have to judge it for what it is, and we have to cut and dry and be like, But personally, it happened 7 years ago, and nothing happened then to now. Only thing happening right now is the backlash, except for when the motherfucker said it teetered on inappropriate. That's the problem people have with when he said it teetered on inappropriate. So that's where you done fucked up and lost me. Because you, Dr. Disrespect, was stupid. Continue.
As other big creators in the space have noticed, like, this is such a big decision for a company like the Midnight Society to make. There's so much at stake.
And they came to the conclusion, starting with the belief of Doc's innocence, that it is better, it's more in their self-interest, to terminate the relationship with basically the guy who was going to guarantee their game was at least a little bit successful because he was going to market all of it. Which is a big fucking decision to make.
With Ludwig also adding that innocent until proven guilty, it's one thing in the court of law. But online, people are just gonna have to base their conclusions on what's out there, right? Knowing that some of these receipts may never get published. And so all day, there's just been this growing conversation, updates coming in. It even got mainstream attention, with outlets like Bloomberg speaking to sources who backed up the reason behind Dr. Disrespect's ban. And all of it actually leading to Doc responding again this afternoon, saying, let's cut the fucking bullshit. Everyone has been wanting to know why I was...
And you know what's crazy is he shouldn't have said anything, but he should have chose his words very carefully. Seriously. Because the moment this man opened his mouth and said what he had to say here is the moment we all realized you might fuck yourself. Really? Like, come on. Come on.
Banned from Twitch, but for reasons outside of my control, I was not allowed to say anything for the last several years. Now that 2 former Twitch employees have publicly disclosed the accusations, I can now tell you my side of the story regarding the ban. Were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes.
Damn. Shouldn't have said that. But he said it. He said it. Now...
Are there real intentions behind these messages? The answer is absolutely not. Also,
real intentions mean intentions to pursue or be involved with said person. No. Okay, but you were talking to them like how? You know what I'm saying? That's a problem. Oh man. My neck.
Also, I'll say a note here because there's been a lot of discourse about this as well. He edited that tweet to instead say individual minor to just individual, but he then later changed it back to individual minor. But then in the rest of his statement, he went on to call the conversations mutual and casual, saying they, quote, sometimes lean too much in the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more, claiming nothing illegal happened, no pictures were sent, he never met them, there was a lengthy arbitration, but no criminal case was filed. And with that, saying he took moral responsibility and should have known better as an adult, but adding, now with all this said, don't get it fucking mistaken. I've seen all the remarks and labels being thrown around so loosely. Social media is a destruction zone. I'm no fucking predator or pedophile. Are you kidding me? Anyone that truly knows me fucking knows where I stand on those things with those types of people. Fuck that. And all of that has resulted...
Yeah, but at the same time, nigga, what people took was teetered on inappropriate.
an explosion of responses, right? Some fans saying they stand with him. Meanwhile, elsewhere, there was a lot of attention to him editing In and Out Minor. Meanwhile, Robert Bowling, aka 402, right, the Midnight Society studio head, he tweeted, this is a statement for me personally. It does not reflect any of my companies and has not gone through any legal or PR approvals. If you inappropriately message a minor, I cannot work with you. Period. I promised to only act on facts, and I did. And of course, there's been no shortage of other commenters chiming in. Zon Piker saying he Dr. disrespected the age of consent. And Moist Critical responding, that's actually shocking. Confirming messaging a minor inappropriately, but saying there wasn't any real intent is almost verbatim what people used to say to Chris Hansen. As well as another aspect we're already seeing are more people cutting ties. With, for example, Turtle Beach now appearing to have removed all of Dr. Disrespect's merch.
I ain't gonna lie. That Dr. Disrespect Turtle Beach headset looks pretty nice. Sorry, Doc, but damn, they didn't love this man at all. They were like, fuck you.
Merchandise from their site, including from their partners section. And seemingly all previous links to Dr. Disrespect products now take you directly to the homepage of Turtle Beach. But like I said earlier, who knows if even more is coming? We're waiting to see. And of course, in the meantime, I gotta ask you, what are your thoughts with all this? And while you leave that comment or you're sitting
I'm looking at it personally, for me, is like, that's crazy.
back trying to take in everything we just talked about, I gotta say, hey, welcome back to the
Shout outs to Phil DeFranco, though.
Yesterday, the internet exploded.
Doc tweeted, oh boy, here we go.
He admitted it, bro, on Twitter. He admitted it on Twitter, bro. He was like, yeah, I was DMing minors. Yeah, it was inappropriate. I was like, what?
Guaranteed half your age. Just That's crazy to say. It's guaranteed.
This was a secret more guarded than the Krabby Patty formula. I really thought we'd never know the reason that Dr. Disrespect was banned. I thought they'd be taken to the grave.
First of all, I don't even know what niggas is talking about. Bro, I thought it was man, niggas is crazy. Let's continue.
I thought we'd crack faster than light travel before we ever learned what the reason behind it was.
Because like we talked about yesterday, Dr. Disrespect, aka Guy Beam, released a statement. And for all the details there, if you've missed all that, I'll link to yesterday's story. But the story...
Oh my God, his headset is going for fucking almost $900 fucking dollars. Oh no. Oh my God. Shout out to Dr. Disrespect because his headset is going, look, 600, 800, 2,000. What the fuck? What the fuck? Turtle Beats headset? Nah, you wildin', bro. You wildin'. I gotta, nigga, hold on. Wait a minute. Time out. Turtle Beats Dr. Disrespect headset. New, right? Hold on. Let's see the eBay. Let's see the eBay searches. Damn. Oh my God. Nigga, what are you talking about? Nigga, what? Okay, let's not type in new. Let's see. Alright. Okay, that's not bad. Alright, never mind. I'm over here like, what the fuck is going on with the bullshit? These niggas is crazy. His headset just skyrocketed. That's crazy.
Around this right now can kind of be broken into 3 different categories. 1, people saying if this situation was serious enough for Twitch to end their relationship with Doc, why are we just now hearing about it now and he's continuing to be in the space? 2, updates specifically around Guy Beam and those connected to him. Like I was seeing in the news today that the 49ers have cut ties with him. And 3, there's been a lot of talk about how those in the community have reacted. You know, there having been a lot of focus on those who were defending him earlier in the week, with creators like Nick Merckx getting a lot of that spotlight with him saying yesterday.
Look, just to be blunt and straightforward, man, that's inexcusable. It's unacceptable, right? Look, the boys and I are torn up over it too, man, because we played a lot of games with the guy and it feels a little weird, but what can you do?
And then saying in a stream today,
yeah, he edited the tweet 3 times. Just so bad. It's so bad, you guys. It's so bad. And look, what do you want from me, man? You know, I gave the guy the benefit of the doubt until we knew more. So to act like I don't care or act like I'm not upset about the shit he did is crazy. You just have to remember that he was a friend of mine. So obviously I'm going to behave a little bit differently. I got some weird, attachments to this. You know, I do. He was a friend. People think that we're like best friends, like we're hanging out. I don't even know the guy outside of a wig. We took one picture together, and newsflash, he was in a wig.
You're not friends, then you're mutuals, you're acquaintances. Shut the fuck up. This is my problem with the space. Oh, I took a picture with the guy and he was in a wig. All right, I get it. But you're not friends. You were never friends. You were never homeboys. You were never crewmates. You were never boys. You were just acquaintances. Stop acting like you know the nigga. Obviously, he lived a pretty private fucking life. Obviously, he didn't want nobody getting into his business. So let's be fucking frank here. When you talk about, we ain't friends, we acquaintances. It just is, it's the game of the fucking platform. I got YouTuber friends. I got fucking friends in this game. Friends that I could be like, yo, I go to them with some shit, talk to them about something. They'll never come to me with some shit. But person that's just, that's how it is, my nigga. And there's different ways of thinking. I live in California, but there's different ways of thinking. I'm from New York. I'm a New Yorker. It just is what it is. But you was not friends with this nigga. Stop, bro. Stop. Let that shit go. You was acquaintances and you should drop that. That's I met him once. He took a picture in the wig. We acquaintances. I thought he was cool. He was a cool dude to me. I didn't think he would just be talking to some kid. But when the word teeter or inappropriate comes up, I'm telling y'all, niggas start abandoning the ship real quick. Let's go.
And we talked for 8 minutes. Now, I don't want to dumb down a relationship.
Meanwhile, you had a lot of creators making great...
You did talk down. You talked for 8 minutes. I don't want to dumb down a relationship and I play games. You play games casually. You're not friends. You're gamer friends. There's a difference.
Chris Hansen to Catch a Predator references.
He is doing the Chris Hansen pedophile defense, by the way.
Like, if any of you have watched To Catch a Predator, you'll recognize that tactic, that little maneuver right there.
He said they did not meet up. He had no intentions. You can take that however you want to. To me, it sounds like what every guy who got caught on To Catch a Predator said, to be honest.
Now, Doc, I'm going to need you to have a seat right over there.
Also, with all this, you have a lot of people.
Was that fucking Chris Hansen? Hold on.
It sounds like what every guy who got caught on To Catch a Predator said, to be honest.
Now, Doc, I'm going to need you to have a seat right over there.
Oh my God, that was Chris, nigga, that was Chris Hansen, bro. Bro, that was that was the literal Catch a Predator nigga. Oh my God. Oh my. I'm drooling. That is crazy. Oh. That hurts my whole fucking soul. That was legitly nigga. Nigga said, Doc, you're gonna have a seat over there. Nah, bro. When they get Chris Hansen on a fucking video to tell you to have a seat is crazy. G, let's go.
Also, with all this, you have a lot of people still pushing for more information to come out, right? People wanting to see what was in the actual chat logs or the whisper logs. Others also wanting to know the specific age of the person the doc was saying these things to. Because depending on where you go online, there are people just kind of throwing out all these different ages. So notably, all of them under the age of 18.
Like, did Doc know the age of the person he was talking to when he was talking to them?
If he knew that was a minor, and those were the messages being sent, I cannot support that.
Now, like, if he had no idea that it happened and, like, he didn't know this person was a minor, like, yeah, he's still an idiot for doing it for sure, but, like, it takes, like, the bad scale from, like, I don't know. Like, it takes it down a number of notches to me.
Now, what's not clear, and what a lot of people are coping with, is that maybe Dr. Disrespect didn't know the age of the person he was communicating with, but I truly feel if that was the case, Dr. Disrespect would have mentioned that, saying that he had those communications with this person that he believed was of age but turned out to be a minor.
You know, ultimately, that...
I'm like... It doesn't matter? Think about it. Think about it. And really... Think about it. Think about it. It doesn't matter if he knew the age or didn't. The nigga literally came out and said, I was talking to said minor in 2017. Personally, it's 2017. It's 2024, nigga. I'm not holding this nigga against something that happened 7 years ago. But everyone will. And I kind of have to now because he said the conversation may have teetered on inappropriate. When a nigga said that, get the fuck out of here, you stupid fucking idiot. What is wrong with you? Even if he didn't know the age, he knew the age. He knew the age of said person. Because he literally came out and said, yeah, I was talking to a fucking minor. Because if he was in those whisper chat logs, and if Twitch has those whisper chat logs, they're going to come out and say, yeah, he was talking to said minor. Even if he didn't know the fucking age of said minor. It doesn't matter. He was still talking to that said fucking person. He still opened his mouth, had a conversation with them online. Now, what we should be asking is, what is the inappropriate shit that was said? How inappropriate was he? Did he turn into inappropriate? How the age of the person? If they could go to TwitchCon, they were either the age of 15, 13, or 14. But they need to be accompanied with a guardian. So they were in the age to go to TwitchCon to be accompanied by a guardian. But he never met up with that person. He had intentions to meet up, or say hi to them or introduce himself to them, be cordial to them. Maybe in chat log they were cordial, but this is different. Very different. So the age factor does not matter at this point because he already came out and said it was a minor. or I was talking to a minor. Even if he didn't know until the end at TwitchCon, that's different. Even if he didn't know, the nigga still cheated on his wife with a 24-year-old woman at TwitchCon. So even if he didn't meet up with that fucking kid at TwitchCon, he still cheated on his wife with a 24-year-old fucking woman at TwitchCon. Come on, bro. It don't matter the age. Oh, you know, what if he didn't know? I'm like, nigga, I'm not sitting here gonna say if he did know the age. Because maybe at the end he knew. In the beginning he knew. At some point he fucking knew. And if the motherfucker didn't, yo, I'm gonna call a spade. You still was talking, depending on the inappropriate language or what was said in said chats. That's what I care about. Fuck the person's age. They were old enough to go to TwitchCon. There's something there. Then they were underage, but they were old enough to be accompanied by an adult at TwitchCon. So they were under 13, at 13 or 15, but they still had to be accompanied. So they were under the age of 18. So there's my problem. So what are we talking about? But let's continue. I'm over here spitzing.
That is where we are with this, as all of this continues to play out, both in the court of public opinion and as others wait to see if more information could be coming. And then we need to talk about...
All right, so we're done with this motherfucker.
Shit.
Gambino on drum.
You
little niggas gonna stop acting like my shit ain't the grill.
Where's the last
Some of
one?
you niggas get your front teeth for grills. And I ain't talking about the contract.
I ain't loving these fake hoes. Room smelling like 8 switches. Room service like 2K. NBA, I'm ballin', nigga. All them niggas falling like all them niggas. Talking shit, I saw them niggas. Now they daughter want a picture. Rough, ain't it? Fuck famous.
Yeah, man.
Niggas too real, got the most haters. Wrote a story so Stephen Curry. How it feel to be golden.